Radio Changalo, restoring everything in Christ with love and truth. Good afternoon. With the main news, I'm Canadian Bewa Jr. and kindly be informed that we are also streaming live on both the Radio Changalo Facebook page and our YouTube channel. The headlines: Marriage should be founded on Christian values. Some houses collapse in Kitwe's Kandabwe area. Benson Sakala says the team is shaping up well ahead of the CHAN tournament. The details: married couples have been reminded to let their union be founded on Christian values, and a Catholic priest has spoken against gender-based violence, GBV. Father Collins Chansa, a trained psychosocial counselor, bemoaned the lack of knowing oneself and understanding among couples, which is said leads to GBV. Father Chansa added that people should realize that when people get married, they become one as Christ intends. An interview with Radio Chingli News in Kitwe, Father Chansa further called on marriage counselors to prepare people for marriage based on Christian values.
Entempero achimfunga tawishi weniwani mukalamba ulimwache umuntu pakutope namba kulina bakutira nanguna kula amana utapali nanguna abakula machuti tapali nga wakula ulefoko uri mu Christian echo umuntu ali nokushira wishinanira ali nokuminga nomwina mwakwe ebibale tilati gender violence atibakantona ofukira omwezi awe kufunga ulwele ero kabiri kuri abakwapekanya banarume bashukuru wakwe banasenge teba muleka nabana mabe nechimutire bagende babuza etamu pekenyu wino muntu tenshinde. What is a relationship between husband and wife or an adult man and a woman?
Democratic Party DP leader Harry Kalaba has charged that former Minister of Health Chitalo Chilufya was supposed to be fired during the time he appeared before the Anti-Corruption Commission. Mr. Kalaba said there was need for thorough investigation at the Ministry of Health, saying a lot of Zambians are at risk of unknown diseases after consuming expired medicine. Speaking on a special program on Radio Chinglo last night, Mr. Kalaba said the owner of Honeybee Pharmacy has always been seen doing morning runs with the head of state, which has raised suspicions. Meanwhile, Community Action Against Corruption, CAC, says though the decision to fire Dr. Chilufya is commendable, the damage already caused is too big and cannot be reversed. CAC Chief Executive Officer Brighton Tembo says he is worried about the health status of all those who used the defective health kits. Mr. Tembo wants all those involved in the Honeybee saga, including the two permanent secretaries, to be fired.
And his team at the Ministry of Health at Dating House has put the lives of so many Zambians at risk of contracting so many dangerous diseases, HIV/AIDS included. So on this one, yes, we accept the decision, but it has come a little bit too late. Next time we should learn from this. When they are caused to dismiss somebody, that should be done as quickly as possible. Because governance, the way it is, it should be collaborative from the people and those who are governing the nation. So there must be a listening situation where what the people in political offices should take action against such complaints. For the Anti-Corruption Commission, this is the right time for them to redeem themselves. They have to redeem the public confidence in the commission.
Some houses have collapsed in Kitwe's Kandabwe area following the heavy rains the country is experiencing. It is believed that a bridge is the major cause of the incident, and the affected families are now homeless and are calling on government through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, to look at their plight. They said this when Area Member of Parliament Alexander Chiteme, DMMU Coordinator Chandakabwe, and Kitwe District Commissioner Chileshebweupe toured Kandabwe compound to see the extent of the damaged houses rather.
Then yapayeshera kwati barricade contractor walimu aba contractor nombe skala achimama kubati alisabika barricade and that barricade eyalengo okutera ati kikwate problem ngako nkere ukubiyesho bafumishe baona lebo twashotera bafyo babombe nga tatwa kwate problem bantu ameshira isarafika kose kudia chirebya so.
By broadcast time, the three government officials were currently checking the affected houses. A civic leader in Chidelabombwe has expressed worry that some residents have stopped adhering to COVID-19 preventive measures. Kafue Ward Councillor Jen Daka Mtwale reiterated that the move is detrimental to the fight against the virus. Councillor Mtwale is now calling on civic leaders to take an active role in reminding citizens on the importance of abiding by stipulated measures aimed at combating the coronavirus.
You know, visiting places, touching here and there, and also echo to say in the past, when this COVID just hit us in the first wave, a number of people had become compliant, but I can see some reluctance in some business entities. So as a civic leader, and I think as the municipality here in Chidelabombwe, I think we are going to up our hands now to ensure that actually we instill these disciplinary actions to people who are not adherent. And being a border area here in Chidelabombwe, we are next to Congo, and Congo is also busy recording some cases. So please, can we ensure that we see to it that people are compliant with the Ministry of Health guidelines?
Socialist Party aspiring candidate in Ron constituency Jeff Chabala says President Edgar Lungu should also consider the challenges facing the mines in Luanshya district. Mr. Chabala said the president should not only be concerned about Mopani, Konkola and Lubambe, but also look at the problems at LCM 18 and 28 shafts. Speaking to Radio Chingle News, Mr. Chabala said he expected the head of state to visit Luanshya to address the mining challenges during his recent 3-day working visit to the Copper Belt.
Very neglected, and one wonders why each time the president is addressing the mines, you only talk about Mopani, Lubambe, and KCM. What about the problems at LCM, the problem with 28 shafts and 18 shafts? And again, one wonders why the provincial PF leadership is neglecting Luanshya. When you talk about Nathan Chanda, he comes from Luanshya and from Ron in particular, and he sees the sufferings of the miners and how Luanshya has been down economically. He was just moving the president to Lubambe, Mopani, and KCM. We feel strongly that these mines combined together, Mopani, Lubambe, and KCM, the problem they are facing combined together cannot still equal the problems we have in Luanshya.
In sports, Chipolopolo Chan team vice captain Benson Sakala says the team is shaping up well ahead of the Chan tournament, which kicks off on Saturday this week. Sakala says the team has also adapted to the weather condition in Douala, where it has set up base. And Sakala says the friendly game against Libya tomorrow will add flair to the team as it gears up for the tournament. Sakala was speaking to Faz Media in an interview yesterday after the morning training at the Kaj Sports Academy in Douala.
water, and as you can see, it's pretty hot here, but I think we've adapted by this time, and the team is sharpening well. Every game is important for us, first as players, and for the nation, since we're representing the nation. It's a very important game that gives us the confidence going forward. The competition is very high. Every player is looking sharp and ready to be picked for to be up for selection in the first game, even in Libya's friendly game.
This news broadcast comes to you in the community service of Radio Chingalo with compliments of Moose Milling and Zambia Catholic University. And now international news as monitored from the BBC. The Ugandan opposition presidential candidate Bobi Wine says the army has raided his home and arrested all his security guards 2 days before the election. He blames the raid on President Museveni and compared the arrest, the kicks over the dying horse. Here is the BBC with more stories from around the world.
Uganda's elections over the years have seen a lot of violence, arrests and killings. But what has changed this time is really the scale of these attacks. And this morning, Bobi Wine's home was raided, his guards taken. Some of his guards have been previously arrested over the last few days and have actually been tried or been charged in the military courts. And right now, the international community is concerned about whether this country can hold free and fair elections under this current of violence.
India's Supreme Court has delayed the implementation of new agricultural laws that have caused widespread protests. It said the laws would be put on hold until a compromise was reached between the government and the farmers. Rajini Vaidyanathan reports from Delhi.
For weeks now, thousands of farmers have been protesting new agriculture laws, which they fear will drive them out of business. The government says these new measures, which open up the sector to corporate players, will create opportunities for farmers. This intervention by India's top court is a significant development, as round after round of talks has yielded little progress. The numbers joining the protests have grown. One major fear among farmers is that the reforms will drive prices down and remove minimum guarantees on certain crops. The Supreme Court's called for the creation of a committee so grievances can be aired.
The King of Malaysia has declared a nationwide state of emergency, the first in 50 years, to combat a rise in coronavirus cases. Here's our correspondent, Jonathan Head.
This will allow the administration of Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin to govern without the approval of Parliament, which is now suspended, and to overrule state governments and the Constitution. He leads a fragile coalition beset by infighting, and some will welcome the increased authority he now has to deal with the pandemic. His political opponents, though, may view this as a manoeuvre, allowing Mr. Muhyiddin to avoid the almost inevitable challenges this year to his hold on power.
World News from the BBC.
On that note, we end this afternoon's main news on Radio Chingalo. For these and more stories, feel free to visit our Facebook page. Log on to Facebook and like the Radio Chingalo page and link to radiochingalo.radio12345.com. Remember to play your part in the fight against the coronavirus. Wear a mask when in public, avoid large groups and maintain social distance. Avoid unnecessary movements and wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds. Well, on behalf of the entire news team, thank you so very much for listening. And to all of you who are watching us on Facebook, thank you as well, and keeping on liking the Radio Chingalo Facebook page, and of course subscribing to the YouTube channel. My name is Kennedy Mbewe Jr. Have yourself a lovely Tuesday afternoon.
The main news was